Mastering difficult conversations, my 4 hacks to really overcoming the most complex of conversations. I have a question for you. Take a moment to think about the 3 most important relationships in your life, whether that's at work, at home, or in your community, and then ask yourself this. With those 3 people, has there ever been a relationship where you haven't had to deal with a difficult conversation? I would bet that the answer is no. Across your life, we have to deal with difficult conversations. So let me tell you my advice for doing it with style. So my first hack is this, which is probably not surprising, is to approach those conversations with empathy. Try and mentally prepare yourself, even in the heat of that conversation, to listen more than you speak, to understand where they're coming from, and to recognize the fact that you're not always trying to win your way out of a difficult conversation, but simply understand your way through it. When you are in the heat of the moment, in the real crux of a difficult conversation, remember this: you cannot think rationally. When you are under a lot of pressure, the way that your brain works is that you are in an emotional state. So don't go into that conversation trying to solve it with facts, figures, or data. Remember that for you and the person you're talking to, emotion matters. My second hack is to always remember that your job is to focus on acknowledgement over action. So often in life, as leaders or in other relationships in our lives, we instinctively, intuitively, and often in kindness want to solve the problem. We want to jump into action. But I teach my audiences all the time the importance of acknowledgement. People don't necessarily need or want you to solve the problem, but simply to acknowledge how they're seeing, feeling, or experiencing that problem. My action step for this is really to do with neuro-linguistics. One simple sentence that you can use to lean into the other person and overcome those difficult conversations. Try using the sentence, "Can you help me understand?" Those 5 simple words ensure that you lean in, you close the gap between you and the other person, and you're able to step into their world. It assures them that you're listening, that you're interested in their point of view, and once you build that trust, you close the gap and you're one step closer to resolution. So my third hack comes down to presence. It's impossible to navigate your way through a difficult conversation if the other person or people don't feel that you are actually present with them in that conversation. Ensure your body language is open. Consider the words that you use. Put away your cell phones. If there is something between you and them, a laptop, a phone, a computer, move it. People will know if you are distracted. My real action point for this hack is to remain grounded. When you feel that you're losing focus, perhaps that's due to emotion, frustration, or anger in that reality, really think about your breathing. There is a form of breathing that the US military use, and it's called box breathing. Like a box, it has 4 even parts. You breathe in for 4, you hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. Repeat that between 6 and 8 times. I promise you, no one will know you're doing it. You can do it in a debate, in a board meeting, or round the kitchen table. Box breathing will help suppress the panic in your body. It will lower the hormones and the adrenaline that are flying around in the heat of the moment and allow you to focus on the person or the people that you're speaking with. Ultimately, that breathing will improve your presence. My 4th hack is to name the emotion or the frustration in the room. I always say to my audiences that once you name things, they diminish. Owning them makes them less of a threat or a problem. So if you see that your audience is feeling very frustrated or upset, don't try and navigate around that. Own it. Say to them, "Mimi, I feel like you're very frustrated with this. Can you help me understand that?" Or, "Mimi, I see that you seem to be losing interest in this conversation. Would you rather we did it at another time?" It takes you being brave to do this, especially if it's with a leader or somebody more senior to you. But I promise you that once you own the emotion in the room, it begins to suppress. Those were my 4 hacks to really managing and overcoming difficult conversations. Wherever you work, whatever relationships you have in your life, these skills will show you how to overcome the most complex of human communications. Please do come and join me on my empathy journey as I spread more empathy and communication skills across the world.